It's just really funny how things tend to just work out. Here I was trying to avoid the holiday blues and seasonal depression. Usually holiday time is very hard for me. I fall into a bad depression. And I was just looking for some things to do to kind of keep my spirits uplifted. And I end up going to an event with the Nigel Barker there in attendance that night and meeting him and actually getting to talk to him and do a mini interview. Really kicked off my holiday. I never would have seen that coming in a million years. Let's get into it. Before we get started, I'll introduce myself. My name is Simone, aka the Black Carrie Bradshaw. I am a fashion and travel blogger, your favorite fashionista and solo travel diva. If you are new here, thank you for coming and showing up. Thank you for coming to my channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss some of the really cool videos that I post about solo travel and fashion. And if it's not your first time here, thank you for coming back and kicking it with me. So, a little backstory for the people who don't know me that well or haven't followed me for very long. Years ago, when I really started taking my social media page seriously, I was a fashion boutique owner, and that business is now closed, but I had an online boutique, and I really wanted to be a fashion blogger. I really wanted to be in that niche. That started first, and then the travel content came later when I really discovered a love for travel. But I started off as a fashion blogger. So it's just really funny how I ended up at an event and meeting one of the judges of America's Next Top Model, Nigel Barker. So here's a little bit more background and transparency. The holidays are tough for me like they are for many people, but I really usually fall into this pretty significant depression during the holidays. Last year specifically was very bad. It was really bad. And I knew the holidays was coming again this year, and that it could really affect me this year because I suffered a breakup earlier in the year, and I just didn't want to do it. I just didn't want to suffer from depression. I didn't want to cry. I didn't want to be in bed. I was like, you know what? You have a choice. How are we going to get out ahead of this? What are we going to do? And I was like, well, let's get out ahead of it. I'm a huge Abraham Hicks fan. If you know Abraham Hicks, you know what I mean when I say that she often says, get out ahead of it. So that just came to mind. I was like, how am I going to get out ahead of this depression? So I started looking for things for me to do. And so I'm scrolling on Instagram, and I totally forgot that I followed this winery in Atlanta. It's not even in Atlanta. It's about 40 minutes north of Atlanta in Brazelton, called Chateau Elan. And an advertisement comes up on Chateau Elan's page that Nigel Barker was going to be there, and he was going to be promoting his new adult beverage, his new drink. So specifically, it was an espresso martini that he was going to be in Atlanta promoting it. So I thought, wow, that's interesting. So I screenshot it, sent it to one of my friends who I know is a big America's Next Top Model fan, has watched all of the seasons, and when I sent him the screenshot, he was like, bitch, you better go. So that's when I knew. I was like, okay, you're right. I gotta go. So I just was like, okay, it's after work. It was pretty far from work though. I live pretty far, and it did end up taking me, with rush hour traffic, an hour and a half to get up there. But I get in my car, I drive up there, and I'm like, I'm going to talk to Nigel. I'm going to meet Nigel. Because I was thinking, there's going to be a lot of people there. What if you don't even get a chance to meet him? But over the years, I have become, a pretty good manifester. So I was like, no, this is going to work out. I'm going to meet Nigel. It's going to be worth my time and my gas. And I didn't go there with the intention of getting an interview from him, but that's exactly what happened. And so I get there and I'm like, of course I look great. I made sure I looked nice. This is the Nigel Barker. Okay. He's shot editorial for 17 magazine, I believe GQ magazine, America's Next Top Model Judge. He has photographed some of the top models of the world, Tyra Banks, Naomi, this is Nigel Barker. And he was so nice when I met him. Like I waited my turn in line to get a sample of the drink, which is amazing. It tastes so good. Y'all, this drink, I'm going to get to that. Back it up. I have to back it up. I will get to that because the beverage is amazing. But he talked to me about how this came about. He said during the pandemic, he had a show called Shaken and Stirred. And I think he did about 130, 135 episodes. And he said that his female guests on the show absolutely loved these espresso martinis. But he also learned that it was hard to find an espresso martini that was already mixed because you basically had to be a barista and a bartender and all in one in order to make a good espresso martini. And so it took him 2 years to make this drink. And you guys, it is amazing. It tastes so good. It's the perfect amount of sweet, the perfect amount of coffee if you're a coffee lover. I definitely will be drinking this, and I'm not getting paid for this. I'm telling you. Let me tell you what I remember about the drink because I did interview him. So the drink is 100% Colombian espresso Arabica bean coffee. Okay. It is made in Pennsylvania and 6 times distilled vodka. Okay. And he said he thought it was going to take him 6 months. It ended up taking 2 years. And also, I don't know who's going to love this, but it is gluten-free, vegan, all natural, and it's a shake and stir drink. And it tastes good. But anyway, I just thought that was really cool how that worked out so well. A lot of times in this journey of me being a media personality, fashion blogger, it's hard for me to get interviews or even get into the right rooms to meet important people. And this just worked out perfectly. It was like the universe just said, oh, you're a fashion blogger? Here's something for you. It was a great way to kick off my holiday, which is going well so far. And it just worked out. It worked out really great. Okay, so that's the end of the video. I hope to see you guys on the next one. See you guys next time.